Hello students, hope you all are safe and healthy. Today we are going to discuss one of the very important concept of economics, that is inflation and its type. So before we start with this topic, let me ask you one question. Have you heard about this term inflation? Definitely your answer would be yes. Now what the inflation is? Uh, if we ask somebody who is not having much knowledge about economics, uh, about inflation, he will say rise in the price of goods and services. Means in the layman language, inflation is the rises in the prices of goods or services. But in economics, it is more than that. According to the definition of economics, inflation is defined as the sustained or persistent increase in the general price level of goods or services. General price level is a hypothetical measure of the prices of the set of commodities or the goods or services. So in this definition, the keyword is persistent. Means the increase in the general price level of goods or services should be persistent. Means the other word for persistent is continuous. Means there should be a continuous increase in the general price level of goods or services over a period of time. Then that is the condition for inflation, or the increase in the general price level of goods or services should sustain for a particular period of time or over a period of time. Then that is called as inflation. If the price of any commodity increases for a day and on the very next day or after 2 days it goes down, and again on the next very day again it increases and then it falls down, so there such type of fluctuation should not be there. When we talk about inflation, there should be a persistent or continuous increase. If the rate is increasing, then that should be continuous increase over a period of time, increase in the price over a period of time. That is called as inflation. Right. Let's, along with the inflation, let's try to understand some of the important relative concepts of this particular topic. So the first is shrinkflation. What the shrinkflation is? Shrinkflation is the condition when the prices of goods or services remain same or unchanged. Only the changes takes place in the size or the quantity of the commodity. Means if the prices of goods or services are remaining same, only the size is reducing or the quantity of product is reducing, the quantity of goods or services is reducing. So when the quantity of product reduces, it means that the customer will demand more quantity, more number of commodities, right? So the demand will increases. So that type of, and that results in increase in the price level of goods or services. So what's happening, that type of inflation is called as shrinkflation, where the prices are remaining same, only the changes or only the size of the commodity or the quantity is reducing, right? After that, the next is deflation. Deflation is just opposite of inflation. Deflation means persistent decrease in the general price level of goods or services, right? This type of the condition for deflation can is rarely seen in the country like India. You can see in some of the sector sometimes, but this condition can well seen in some of the Western European countries, or the very good example of where you can find this type of this situation of the situation of deflation, that is Japan. In Japan, the government, the inflation rate is in minus, right? So the government encourages their citizens to spend more. Why? Because their inflation rate is in minus territory. So in deflation, what happens? In deflation, the prices goes down persistently, continuously over a period of time, and it goes to minus category or negative territory, right? Then the next is disinflation. Disinflation, there is a minor difference between the deflation and disinflation. In disinflation, again, if the inflation rate goes down, comes down, but not in a minus territory, right? That the rate is going down, but it not becoming minus, it not going to the minus negative territory. Then that type of condition, or that type of inflation, that condition is called as disinflation. Then the next is reflation. What reflation is? Reflation means it's when the interest rate is very low, is in minus zone, minus uh, territory, right, is very low, and government voluntarily or willingly trying to increase the rate of inflation or the general price level of goods or services. Let's take the same example of Japanese economy. Uh, Previously, Japanese government, they came up with one policy, that is the zero interest rate policy, where the government is imposing zero interest rate uh, on savings or investment for their customers, right? But then also that in order to discourage the individuals, their citizens to save the money, save their money in banks or any other investment instrument. But that policy also doesn't work. So they came up with the other policy, which is also, which was the extreme of this policy, that is the negative interest rate policy. So in negative interest rate policy, if somebody deposit their amount, their money in bank, then the bank immediately cut some of the amount from that particular investment or saving. Why they are doing so? Because they don't want their people to deposit their money in bank. They want them to invest. They want them to spend more on the purchase of goods or services, right? So in this case, what the government trying to do? Government trying to pump the money in the economy. Voluntarily, government is trying to increase the inflation rate, because extreme inflation is also not very good for any economy, and deflation is also not, extreme deflation is also not very good for any economy. There should be a balance in the demand and supply of the money in any economy, right? Now, so these are some of the very important concepts which are there in this topic, that is inflation. Now let's try to understand the different types of inflation. So the inflation can be classified on the basis of certain criteria. The first is on the inflation based on the causes, on any cause. So the first is the demand pull inflation. Now what the demand pull inflation is? Demand pull inflation means when the supply is less than demand, means when demand is more, aggregate demand for the commodity is more than the supply, then that condition is called as the demand pull inflation. Means where the inflation is uh, causing due to the increase in the demand and decrease in the supply of the goods or services, right? There are some of the reason for that. The first is increase in the money supply. If money supply increases in the economy, what will happen? The demand for goods or services will also increases, right? In demand pull inflation, what's happening? The demand is pulling the inflation to occur. So because of the increase in the demand, the price level of the goods or service The second reason is increase in the demand for goods by the government. When the government increases the demand for the goods, then what happens? It also results in increase in the general price level of goods or services, and that results in demand pull inflation. Right? So the demand pull inflation can well seen in UK in the year 1980s. When the Chancellor Nigel Lawson came up with the policy that they cut short or they reduces the inner tax rate in order why he took that decision, because at that time in the year 1980 the UK economy was booming. UK economy was booming, and the prices were, the confidence level of the individual was higher at that time. The tax rates were cut, and there was a full employment type of situation, right? The production was increasing, so the overall economy at that particular time period uh, was increasing 5 to 6% a year. So because of that, what's happening, the supply of money in the economy is increasing, and that was pulling up the demand for the goods or services, because why the government has um, came up with the policy of cutting down the tax rates, and because of that what happens, the supply of money in the economy increases, and that results ultimately results in the demand pull inflation at that time, right? At that time inflation rate in UK was increased by 4 to 5% because of the decrease in the tax rate, right? Then the next is, so this is the demand pull inflation. Now the next is cost push inflation. This occurs when there is an increase in the cost of production for firms, which causing the aggregate supply, change in the aggregate supply, right? So it means that the cost is pushing the inflation worker, pushing the inflation, right? Let's take an example. If there is increase in the price of factor of production like land, labor and capital, so let's take, if the prices of raw material increases, what will happen? That will increases the cost of production for the firm, and the producer what will do, they will pass on that increase in the cost of production to the customers by on their customers by hiring more prices from them. So what's happening, because of the cost of production is reducing, the price level of the goods or services is increasing, the prices of goods or services increasing, and that creating the inflation, situation of inflation. So that is called as the cost push inflation. Push inflation was seen in UK in early 2008, where the economy's GDP was very much reduces to 5 to 6%. So that was the condition of the very deep recession in the UK economy at that time in early 2008, right? And at the same time, what the government was experiencing, experiencing the rises in the inflation rate. So this inflation was due to not due to the demand side, but it was due to the cost push factors, such as the rises in the oil price. The oil prices were rises, or rises in the taxes, or rises in the import goods, prices of import goods. So because of that, what's happening, the prices of goods or services were increasing, right? Let's take the example of tax rate. If the government imposing if the government increases the taxes on certain items which the producer uses for uh, producing their goods or services, so what will be the case? The overall product will become higher. Let's take an example of the hospitality sector. If the government increases the tax which imposes on the hotel room, so what will happen? That will make the hotel room more expensive to the customers, right? This is the case. So the increase in the prices due to the cost of production factors, then that is called as the cost push inflation. That situation is called as the cost push inflation. Then the next is stagflation. Stagflation is the that in this, the term includes two things. One is the stagnation, two terms. One is the stagnation and the other is inflation. Means when both stagnation and inflation occur simultaneously at the same time. So that can be the situation of stagflation was seen in India in during the period 1991 to 1994, when there was the situation of stagflation, means where there was a significant unemployment in the economy. Along with that, uh, the prices of goods or services were rising, means the inflation rate was increasing, and there was no employment at that time in the economy. Then the production was not going at a right pace, and because of that the government were not in a condition to fulfill the supply side of the products, and that results in increase in the price levels of goods and services. So that was creating a type of stagflation in the economy at that particular time period, that is from 1991 to 94. Then the next is profit induced inflation. Now what the profit induced inflation is? Profit induced inflation means when the uh, producers or entrepreneurs are increasing the profit margin on their goods, on their products, on their goods or services, right? Let's take an example. If a firm is there who is enjoying the monopoly position in the economy, right? So and they plan to increase the profit margin, their profit margin on the goods which they are offering or the services which they are offering in the economy, right? So because of that, what happens? When they increases the profit margin, the product become more expensive, right? Means that increases the price level of that particular product. So if the situation of inflation is occurring because of this particular thing, means because of the increase in the profit margin by the producer, so that is called as profit induced inflation, right? Then the next is budgetary inflation. Means when if the condition of inflation is occurring because of the deficit in the budget, because of the deficit in the budget, then that is called as the budgetary inflation, right? So country they try to cover the budget deficit through um, banks borrowings and creating new money in the economy. So because of that, when government borrow money from the bank or the central banks or creating a new money in the economy, so that increases the purchasing power of the community or individuals, and right, without increase in the production of goods. Mean the production is not increasing, but only the purchasing power of the community is increasing, the individuals are increasing, right? And the supply, because of creating new money in the economy, it means that the supply of money in the economy will increases, right? And that if that resulting in increasing in the price level of goods and services, then that type of inflation is called as budgetary inflation, right? Then the Monetary inflation is when inflation caused by too rapid increase in the money supply, means when the money supply is very rapid, and because of that the price level, the general price level of goods or services are increasing, then that type of inflation is called as monetary inflation. Then the next is called as imported inflation. What the imported inflation is? Imported inflation means when the inflation is occurring because of the depreciation in the exchange rate of the currency, right? Means when the value of the currency decreases, or when there is depreciation in the value in the exchange rate of the currency, so that make import more expensive, right? Suppose if the company is importing certain item for their product, right? Uh, so if the imported item becomes expensive, so that will increases the overall cost of production of that particular item, and that results in the increase in the price level of price of that product. That increases the price level of that product in that goods or services, price level of goods or services. So that uh, is the situation of imported inflation, right? Depreciation in the currency sometimes also make exports more competitive, and when export become competitive, that increases the demand for that uh, particular item, right? So this is also one of the condition for the depreciation, which occurs due to the depreciation in the exchange rate. Then the next is imported in sorry then the next is temporary factors, means if the inflation occurs, or the if the inflation rate increases due to the temporary factors, such as increasing in the tax rate or any other factor, right? Then that is called as temporary factor. Means if the price level of goods or services is increases due to the temporary factors, due to some factors which are not permanent one, right? If the tax rate in government increases the tax rate, then what will happen? Or GST rate, suppose the government has increased the GST rate which imposed on the hotel room, or right, then that will make that product or hotel room more expensive to the customer. The result will be in the rise in the price level of that particular product. So that type or the goods or services, so that is called as the so what's happening here, the inflation is occurring because of the temporary factor, right? So this is called as temporary factor inflation. One more type of inflation is there which is not included in this. You can write down at the 9 number. That is the wage push inflation. What the wage push inflation is? If the inflation is occurring because of rise in the wages of the laborers, because of rise in the wages, right? It's a combination of demand pull inflation and cost push inflation. Both is occurring in this particular situation. Let's take the example of the wage push inflation in UK in 1970s. At the time of 1970s in UK, there was a major influence of trade unions in the economies, right? And they asked to rise the wages for the workers, and the result of that, and the company accepted, and the result of that was uh, increase in the disposable income of the individuals. Why? Because of the increase in the wages. So when the wages increases, that also increases the income of the individuals in the economy, and that causes the increased consumption also. When the income increases, the consumption will also increases, right? And uh, so because of that, what will happen? The demand for the commodities will increases, for the goods or services will increases, and when demand increases, that increases the general price level of goods and services in the economy, right? So this uh, so when the inflation is occurring due to the wages, increase in the wages, then that is called as the wage push inflation, means the wages pushing the inflation to occur, or the inflation is occurring due to the rise in the wages of the, why? Because the way when wages will increase, that will increases the cost of production of for the firm, because it increasing the cost of labor, and that results in increase in the price of that particular item or the goods or services, and that creates inflation. Now sorry, the next is inflation based on the rate of inflation. The first is creeping inflation. What creeping inflation is? In creeping inflation, the rate remains between 0 to 4%. The rate of inflation remains from, sorry, not 0, it is from 1 to 4%. The range of inflation in creeping inflation, that is 1 to 4%. Means when the rate of inflation slowly increases over time. It increasing, but the rate by which increasing, that rate is very slow. For example, the inflation rate rises from 2% to 3%, then from 3 to 4% a year, right? So here what's happening, the inflation is increasing but with a very slow rate. Creeping inflation may not be immediately notable, but if the creeping rate of inflation uh, continues for a period of time, then it can become a very serious problem for any economy. Then the next is walking inflation. What a walking inflation is, when inflation is in single digit, means less than 10. At this rate, inflation is not a very major problem. Means the inflation is in single digit. If the inflation is in single digit, that will not be a very serious problem for any economy, right? But if it goes beyond that, if it is come to the double digit or the triple digit, then it becomes a very serious problem for the central government or for the central bank, right? So in the walking inflation, the inflation rate ranges from 2 to 10%. Then the next is running inflation. Running inflation is when inflation starts to rise at a very significant rate. It is usually defined as the rate between 10 to 20% a year. So at this rate, the inflation is imposing a very significant cost on the economy, and that could easily start to creep higher over years, over a period of time. Right. So uh, and the walking inflation is also called as the moderate inflation, and it comes between the creeping inflation and the running inflation. Then the next is galloping inflation. What galloping inflation is, if the inflation is very high, usually in double digit or in triple digit numbers, and then that is called as the galloping inflation, and it ranges between 20% to 1000%. So you can imagine how serious the problem is if there is a galloping type of inflation in any economy, right? At this rapid rate of price increases, At this rapid rate of price increases, inflation become a very serious problem or a challenging problem to control. Right? Means if the inflation is in an, is a type of galloping inflation, if it is occurring between 20% to 1000%, then that become a very serious problem for any central bank or the government to, and it means that there is a very serious need to control the rate of inflation, right? After that, the next type of inflation is hyperinflation. Now, what the hyperinflation is? Hyperinflation is when the rate of inflation is more than 1000%. This is a very extreme form of inflation. Though there is no specific definition for the hyperinflation, but then also the term considered as one of the very serious problem if the economy is facing the problem of hyperinflation. It means that goes beyond control by the of the government, right? Hyperinflation usually involves the price changing very frequent, very fast, that it become a daily occurrence matter, right? And it accelerate by annually, it keep on increasing, and that results in ultimately the lose of the confidence of the individuals or the customers, right? After that, the next type of inflation is bottleneck inflation. Now, what the bottleneck inflation is? Bottleneck inflation, also called as structured inflation, it occurs when the supply of the goods or services falls dramatically and demands remain same. Only the supply is decreasing or falling down very dramatically, very seriously, and the demand is remaining same. So this type of situation can occur because of any type of hazard or any accident or any type of mismanagement, right? So because of these reason, if there is a very sudden or dramatical fall in the supply of goods and services, then what will happen? The price of the good, means when the demand is remaining the same, only the supply is going down. If the demand is 20 kg of mango, let's say, right, and the demand goes to, and the supply goes to 3 kgs, then what will happen? That become a very serious problem, and that results in increase in the prices of mangoes, right? In So because of that, the condition which occurs, or the type of inflation which occurs, that is called as the bottleneck inflation. After that, the next is core inflation. What the core inflation is? This is one of the measure of inflation, that is the core inflation. This is the inflation rate that exclude temporary volatile factors such as energy and food prices. Right? If for measuring the inflation, the volatile factors are excluding. Why volatile factors are excluded to measure the inflation sometimes? That is because these are the factors, means the prices of food items or the fuel or any other energy item, right, is very much volatile, means it changes very fast, very frequently, right? So because of that, will be a huge fluctuation in the rate of inflation. So that type of inflation is called as the core inflation, right? And if we include the prices of food and fuel, then what will happen? The changes in the inflation will be very frequent. The rate in the change of inflation will be very frequent, and this is called as the headline inflation, means every time it is coming into notice. Why? Because it is frequently changing. So you can add one more type of inflation in this at 8 number, that is the headline inflation. In core inflation, the price, when we measure the inflation, we not include the volatile items, that is the food and the fuel, but in case of the headline inflation, we include, when we measure the inflation rate, we include the prices of food and the energy items. Now next come to the other type of inflation, that is the anticipated inflation and unanticipated inflation. Anticipated inflation means when the rate of inflation is anticipated by majority of individuals. Means when majority of individuals are believing or expecting a particular percent rate of inflation to occur, and it is occurring, then that type of inflation is called as anticipated inflation. On the other hand, unanticipated inflation means when the rate of inflation which comes as a surprise to majority of individuals, then that is called as unanticipated inflation. Means the rate is not expected, is not predicted, it is occurring as a surprise without expectation, means without prediction, then that is called as unanticipated inflation. Then the next criteria is inflation based on the degree of control. So on the basis of the degree of control, the inflation is classified into two. One is the open inflation and the other is called as the suppressed inflation. So open inflation means it's a type of inflationary process in which prices are permitted to rise without being suppressed by the government. Means the government is not trying to control or suppress the rise in the price of goods or services, right? Government is noticing, and but then also the government is not trying to control or restrict the rise in the prices of goods or services, then that type of inflation is called as open inflation. On the other hand, suppressed inflation is when government make efforts to check and control the rise in the price level of goods or services through price control or rationing measures, right? So this is called this type of inflation is called as suppressed inflation. Then the next is on the basis of the employment. So on the basis of employment, the inflation is of two types. One is the partial inflation and the other one is full inflation. In partial inflation, the general price level rises partially due to the increase in the cost of production. The cost of production is increasing, and because of that the general price level of goods or services is partially increasing, or due to the rise in the supply of money before the stage of full employment. Means the economy has not achieved the stage of full employment, but then also because of the rise in the money supply, the general price level of goods or services is increasing, then that type of inflation is called as partial inflation, right? Then the next is or the last is the full inflation. Means when the economy this occurs when the economy reaches the level of full employment, or if there is increase in the money supply or rise in the and that results in rise in the price level of goods or services without uh, increase in the output or employment, right? The second is if the economy reaches the full level of employment, or if there is increase in the money supply and because of that, because of the price level of goods or services increasing, and without increase in the output or the employment. This is the other condition. So this is if the inflation is occurring because of these two situations, then this type of inflation is called as full inflation, right? Hope you understood this topic. So before we stop our discussion, let me ask you two questions. One is, are you being affected by this phenomena at any point of time? Second is, who influenced more, or who affected more by inflation, rich or poor? Right? So try to answer these two questions. Hope this session will be beneficial for you. Try to upload next video on another important topic of your syllabus. Thank you, students.